Okay, so chapter 16 is Devasur Sampad Vibhaga Yoga, divine and demoniac natures. So in Bhagavad Gita, there is only one section. Like we have 6, 6, 6, right? 1 to 6, then 7 to 12, and then 13 to 18. So there is this section where Lord Krishna is speaking 3 chapters, successive chapters, without any prompting question from Arjun. So these sections are from chapters 14, 15, and 16. And chapter, one second, I'll just take one.
Can't hear Mataji.
Mataji has muted herself for a few minutes. So
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Thank you. I thought there was some error at my end.
no, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, no problem. Hare Krishna.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got an important call. So I just had to take that call. Sorry. Yeah. So here, Lord Krishna, he speaks all these 3 chapters. And what was I telling? Like chapter 14, it had chapter 15, right? Yesterday we did chapter 15. And chapter 15, Lord Krishna is talking about the Ashwatha tree. He is introducing this metaphor about the upside down tree. And he is describing how we should break away with the 3 Ds that we were talking about. We need to have determination, use the weapon of detachment, and cross the river of desire so that we can get liberation. And he, in 16th chapter, now continuing with that tree metaphor, in the 16th chapter, what Lord Krishna is describing is that people at the 2 extremes of this tree, there are 2 extremes of the tree. There are branches, right? We are talking about the upside down tree. So the branches of the tree, 2 extremes. One extreme, they are divine, godly people living on one extreme of the tree that is close to the reality, and ungodly people who live at the end. So they are very far from reality. So those who are godly, they are near the roots where Lord Brahma is sitting. Yesterday you all saw that, right? So there are 2 classes of created beings, the divine and the demoniac. They are endowed with different qualities. So whoever is divine, his divinity shines through his thoughts, words, actions, and all that. And when divinity gets blocked, what happens? Non-divine qualities manifest. So the same person is called demoniac. As long as you are in good thoughts, good deeds, you are doing everything good, you are having divine qualities. The moment that is blocked and this surfaces, you become demoniac. So demoniac qualities are like pride, anger, envy, etc. Right? So you are completely in that illusion, and it is making us take birth again and again in this material world. So and also in a demoniac kind of a family also. So now let us see what Lord Krishna is going to tell us about that. So we are going to see the demoniac qualities and the divine qualities. So accordingly, what are the demoniac? There are 6 demoniac qualities and 26 divine qualities. Okay. So any of the demoniac qualities you can think about and you can tell? Any?
Greed.
Okay.
Anger.
Mataji, lust, Lust,
Yes,
Mataji.
yes, yes,
Anger,
yes.
Jealousy.
Very good.
Ignorance.
Very good. Very good. Any divine quality you can tell?
Truthfulness.
compassion,
Hmm.
Disparities.
humility,
Yes.
Modesty.
Yes.
Love.
Mhm.
Respect.
Yes.
Forgiveness.
Yes. Hare Krishna. Very good. You have come very close. So let's see the divine qualities, right? So, Shri Bhagavanuvacha Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhi Jnana Yoga Vyavasthitihi Danam Damascha Yagyashta Swadhyayastapa Arjavam Ahimsa Satyamakkrodha Tyaga Shantirapaishunam Daya Bhutveshvalo Luptvam Madhavam Rira Chapalam Tejah Kshamadriti Shaucham Adroho Nati Manita Bhavanti Sampadam Daivim Abhijatasya Bharata. So we have 15th chapter, what we understood, that we are, though we are fallible, right? We are fallible, we can still move towards liberation by following the devotional service and doing devotional service at the feet of Lord, right? So we understood that. 16th chapter, what Lord is telling us is the transcendental nature and good qualities of the divine qualities. So he is explaining to us the advantages, disadvantages of the quality. He is expressing the 26 virtues, total 26 virtues of a saintly character, so saintly nature. If we can imbibe these qualities, then we can also have that saintly nature. But we have to cultivate that as part of our daily sadhana so that we can elevate ourselves and go back to our permanent abode. So here it is like abhayam, fearlessness. What is that? It is attachment to any kind of fear that causes fear. So what happens if we can detach ourselves and surrender to God, we can overcome that. Then it says next one, sattva samshuddhihi. Sattva samshuddhi means purity of mind. So we need to have cleanliness, inner cleanliness. Mind should be clean. Sometimes mind is so dirty. You're looking at somebody else, but your mind is thinking all wrong things. It is harboring all wrong thoughts, wrong feelings, wrong emotions. That also should not happen. That is why it's called sattva. Inside, sattva samshuddhihi. Then jnana yoga vyavasthitihi. We have to cultivate spiritual knowledge. We are forgetting what is right, what is wrong. Then we become like animals. There is no difference between us and animals, right? So if we gain spiritual knowledge, we can slowly understand what is right and wrong. Then comes danam damashta. Danam means charity. So Lord Srila Prabhupada also says that we should keep some percentage of our earnings to give it to Lord Krishna if we are grahastha, right? And we have to give it to the right person for the right need and the right cause. Then comes dhamma. Damashta means control. We have to have control over our senses. We should not be running after sense gratification. Then yajna. Yajnashta means we should do, in Kali Yuga, Sankirtan Yajna means chanting of mantra. Nama Sankirtan is Yajna for Kali Yuga, right? Nama Smaranam Dhanyopayam is the best. Nama Smaranam is the best thing. Swadhyay. Swadhyay means study of Vedas. We study on our own. We read Srila Prabhupada's small books. We are reading, what will happen if we keep reading these scriptures, small books? Intellect will get illumined. Intellect will increase. We'll get this proper knowledge and we will be doing great good actions. Then after Swadhyay, Tapa. Tapa means austerity. What will austerity do? It will help us to purify our body, mind and intellect. For Tapa, we can do fasting also, right? Arjavam means simplicity. Simple living, high thinking should be our aim. Ahimsa means non-violent. Non-violent does not mean, okay, I'm not lifting weapons, so I'm non-violent. No. Non-violent also means not hampering others' life in any way. By our thoughts also, we sometimes hamper others' life. By words, we talk so meanly that other person gets hurt. That is also violence. So by our actions, all three are wrong. Ahimsa, satyam. Satyam means truthfulness. Like yesterday we read, right? You should be so truthful that the truth should be so clean that you can even tell the enemy. It should not affect that. So straightforward. Krodha. Satyam akrodha. Krodha means akrodha here. Satyam akrodha. Akrodha means freedom from anger. We should not get angry at all. Anger, when does anger come? When we want something. We want somebody to do the way we want. and they don't do, we get angry. When sometimes we desire something we don't get, we get angry. So we have to develop detachment. We have to surrender to the will. Okay, it is what God wants, leave it. Then we will slowly overcome anger. Satyam akrodha tyaga. Tyaga means renunciation. So the whole entire material energy is, it's God's. We know it is His. We are using His stuff, right? All the opulences of the world are not for our enjoyment. It is God's. We are borrowing it, trying to use it. If we remain thinking like that, we will be completely in tyaga or renunciation mode. Shanti, peacefulness. We should always have that internal mental balance we need to have. Peacefulness needs to be there, even though externally there will be so many disturbing situations coming into your life. Everybody faces that. How peaceful you are internally is what is very, very important, and how you have to develop it by doing chanting. Then Shanti. After Shanti, Apaishunam. Apaishunam means we generally in this yuga, you can see everybody is trying to blame. Blame game goes on. I didn't do it. You did it. Fault finding. We try to correct others all the time. So instead of correcting somebody else, let us try to see what we have and how we can develop how we can correct our defects rather than pointing fingers at others. So the one who is on doing spiritual sadhana, he will see his or her defects only and try to see goodness in others. Then daya. Daya means compassion. We should have compassion towards everybody. Compassion is a deep sympathy, when we see somebody else suffering, so we feel compassionate about them. Then aloluptvam. Aloluptvam means absence of greed. We should not be having greed. Don't keep accumulating so much and wanting to have some more. We should have only that much which is good and enough for our maintenance of our body, and sometimes we may fall sick, so we need something for our hospitalization. Nobody is going to come and help us, so we need to keep some earnings, some savings, but not to the level that, okay, 7 generations can sit and eat, right? Then comes what? Mardhavam. Mardhavam means we should be very gentle. We should not be insensitive. We should be able to relate to others' emotions, feelings, and because we are in this spiritual sadhana, how we behave with others is very, very important. We should try and notice that, as we are moving forward in our spiritual sadhana, slowly you will see our temperament changes. We become more sensitive. We are more gentle. We are more compassionate. And gentleness is the sign of spiritual advancement. Then comes there Bhutveshwa Loluptu, Mardhavam, Rira Chapalam. Reer means modesty. So we should be very modest. We should all not be doing all monstrous kind of work, right? Very modest, simple, not any achapalam. Achapalam means we should have, chapalam means a lot of chanchalness. Achapalam means determination, remaining where it is, steady. So we will start with good intentions. But sometimes in case we face some problems in our life, it should not be that we will give up and say, oh my God, I can't do it, just let me give up. No, with determination, we keep doing it, right? Even when we are doing chanting, we are doing with determination. Otherwise, it's very easy to give up everything and sit and say, oh, I can't do it. I'm frustrated now. I can't do it. I can't make any attempt. So with determination and patience, we will be able to progress. And then tejaha. Tejaha means vigor. A lot of kshatriyas need to have that. They cannot be non-violent. They have to be, violent, because they have to go and fight. They can't just go to the border and say, sorry, I can't do this. Their duty is to protect the weak. Their duty is to fight for the right cause, dharma. So it is for them, right? Then kshama. Kshama means forgive. The problem is it's not easy to, they say it's not easy for me to forgive. I can't forgive. No, but that's not there. We have to tolerate the offenses of others. Instead of retaliating it back, replying back, we need to respond rather than react, right? So if we forgive people, it's not for them we are forgiving. It is for our own self. If we forgive them, we will be at peace. Then what happens? The emotional wounds that we have inside our heart will heal quickly. Otherwise, we'll remain disturbed forever. What's the point? We are spoiling our health. Then dhriti. Dhriti shaucham. Dhriti means fortitude, the inner strength, and determination. What is the goal? We need to go towards our spiritual sadhana. It needs lot of inner fortitude, mental strength. Even though we may be having external situations which are not favorable to us, we are still moving ahead, right? Sometimes we are eating non-vegetarian. You have to stop non-vegetarian. It's not that easy. You need internal strength to be able to get away from that, right? Then next comes what? Shaucham. Shaucham means cleanliness. So it's not only body and mind, but also the inner mind, how we deal with other people. You know, we should be clean inside as well as outside. Then what comes? Akrodho, adroho, freedom from envy. So what happens? Enmity. If we start having enmity towards others, it will poison our mind. Completely poisons our mind. We remain so, we can't sleep at night. You know, that will keep on going, and that becomes a hurdle in our path of spiritual sadhana. So we need to stay away from that, right? Atimanita. Atimanita means what? We need to not have that, passion for honor. Somebody should, praise me, self-praise. I need to boast, show off. All this should not be there. Whoever you can see, any saint, any guru you will see, they have nothing in themselves to be proud about. They feel gratitude towards God. They say it is because of God that I have got these good qualities. Always giving the credit to God all the time. Srila Prabhupada says that in his purport, that even though their material conditions are so miserable, but if these qualities, these 26 virtues can be developed, and if we can develop it through practice, then what will happen? Slowly we will move higher in our spiritual realm and spiritual platform, and we can go towards the transcendental realization. So we'll go through this very quickly again. All these. Yes, Charu Mataji, would you like to read all?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Divine qualities: forgiveness, charity, self-control, simplicity, non-violence, renunciation, tranquility, fortitude, cleanliness, steady determination, study of Vedas, austerity, gentleness, modesty, vigor, truthfulness, freedom from anger, freedom from envy, freedom from passion of honor, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, compassion for all living entities, purification of one's existence, freedom from covetousness, performance of sacrifice, aversion to fault finding, fearlessness. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mataji. Among the following, what should not be considered as a transcendental quality that belongs to godly men endowed with divine nature? What should not be considered as transcendental?
Passion for honor.
Wow. Very attentive. Very nice. Very good. How many qualities are described gradually developing which one can rise to transcendental realizations?
26.
26.
Charu Mataji, very sharp. Very good. Hare Krishna. Dambho darpobhimanascha krodhav parushyameva cha ajnanam cha abhijatasya partha sampadamasurim. Yes, Anupriya Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Arrogance, pride, anger, conceit, harshness, and ignorance. These qualities belong to those of demonic nature, O son of Parth. Hare Krishna.
O son of Pritha. Pritha is
Sorry,
the
yeah.
name of, Pritha is Kunti's name. Son of Pritha is Arjun. So Lord Krishna is explaining the 6 demoniac natures. Like you had rightly said in the beginning, you were guessing the demoniac nature, right? So these are all 6 ones. They are hypocrites. They just want to show that they are doing something, but in actuality, they are impure. Internally, they are something different. Externally, they are showing something. They are very arrogant. They are disrespectful. They are very proud. They are proud of what status they belong to, what cars they are driving, what bungalows they are living, what kind of status they are maintaining, how much gold they possess, what kind of businesses they have, what kind of education they have, how beautiful they are, what are the products they are using. They are completely in that zone. and they become angry because they have a lot of greed and lust, like they want to achieve more and more, and it's not being fulfilled, suppose. They become frustrated and they don't have control over their mind. And they start shouting at each and everyone. They're very cruel, very harsh. They don't have any kind of, their sensitive nature is gone completely. They don't bother about who is suffering and what kind of words they may be using might be wrong towards others. They have no understanding of the spiritual principles, and they are not bothered about anything. So these demoniac qualities, where do they develop? Right in mother's womb, straight away. And as they are growing, it is manifested. It can be noticeable. So these demoniac qualities we need to stay away from. What are the demoniac qualities we need to stay away from? Is pride, arrogance, anger, harshness, ignorance, and conceit. And I have written over there AA chip so that we remember. We don't want to eat the AA chip. What are the AA chip? Who will tell me what is AA chip?
Arrogance, anger, conceit, ignorance, harshness, ignorance, pride.
Yeah. So we if we have to stay away from eating the AA chip, we will be happy. So we have to understand that. So if somebody's divine and demoniac qualities, it is in our mind only. It's not somewhere outside. If any weakness takes over our mind, then a divine person can also become a demoniac person. That we have to remember. It is right inside our mind. So if somebody's mind realizes the harm these demoniac qualities can cause, then she will or he will try to acquire divine qualities so that we can become divine. So like we know the story of Ratnakar, right? The highway robber Ratnakar, who was robbing and killing people for a living. When he was brought to his senses by sage Narad Muni, then he realized what hideous, what kind of demoniac things he was doing. He had all these qualities there that time. And then he plunged into spiritual practices and he realized the divinity within himself. And who did he become? Anybody remembers what Ratnakar robber became into?
Saint.
What saint? What was his name?
Yes, then.
Valmiki Maharshi.
Valmiki.
Valmiki Maharshi.
Sage, what did sage Valmiki write? He wrote a great epic.
Ramayana.
Ramayana. So sage Valmiki, the highway robber Ratnakar, could become sage Valmiki. Valmiki is the name when he was, he was doing so much of austerity. A lot of ant hill grew. From that, in Sanskrit, ant means like ant hill means Valmiki. So that's how his name became Valmiki Muni. And he later on went to write Ramayana. So you can imagine, if he had these qualities and he could come out of it, we also, if we have these qualities, definitely we can also come out of it. So pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness, ignorance, these qualities belong to the demoniac nature. Yes, correct or incorrect?
Correct.
Very nice. Let's move on. Who will read now? Anupriya Mataji read. Gauri Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. The transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation, whereas the demonic qualities make for bondage. Do not worry, O son of Pandu, for you are born with the divine qualities. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Lord Krishna is saying, do not worry, Arjun. You are not born with these, demoniac qualities. You are completely divine. So he is telling, Lord Krishna is telling, what is the consequence, right, of the both? If you have this, what will be the result? If you have that, what will be the result? He says, if you have demoniac, you will remain coming, you will keep coming into this world in the cycle of birth and death, right? So if you cultivate divine qualities, you will be able to break this cycle and go back to Godhead. So Lord Krishna is saying that Arjuna, you are very good. You are having divine qualities, right? Because he was considering why he was having divine qualities, because he has that compassion. He didn't want to fight. He looked at his grandfather, Guru, so many people who had done so much of injustice to Pandus. Still, he was having that compassionate and forgiving nature that shows he was not acting under the influence of anger, false prestige, or AA chip, right? He was not acting under that AA chip. Because for Kshatriya, killing is transcendental for him. Refraining from such a duty is not good. But here we can see that Arjuna was completely having those divine qualities. But Lord Krishna is saying, you have no cause to lament, Arjuna. You should fight because you are a Kshatriya. Why Arjuna's fight against Kauravas is not considered as demoniac?
Being a
A,
Kshatriya,
being a Kshatriya,
fighting with enemy is a transcendental.
Okay, and
both A and B. He did not have
Yeah,
demon.
He
so-
did not have any demonic.
yeah, he
quality.
did not have any demoniac qualities also. He was so compassionate. Yeah. Yes, please. Snigdha Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. O son of Pritha, in the world, there are two kinds of created being. One is called the divine and the other demonic. I have already explained to you at length the divine qualities. Now hear from me of demoniac.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So now he's at length is going to talk about how we demoniac qualities are, because all the souls, we have all these. Where is the nature coming from? Somebody says, oh, he is always angry all the time. Oh, he is always sad all the time. He is always he's so proud. From the beginning, he was like that. We are getting this from our past lives. So accordingly, we are developing bad or good qualities, right? That is how that explains, right? How different kinds of living beings have different qualities, different nature, different temperaments. So the divine and the demoniac qualities, they are two extremes of this spectrum. There is a spectrum and they are the two extremes, right? So heavenly divine beings have more virtuous qualities. The demoniac traits dominate in lower abodes, Atala, Patala, Sutala, and all that. And we human beings on this earth, we are mixture of both. We have divine as well as demoniac traits. Like you can see in different yugas, it is said in Satya Yuga, what happened? The gods and the demons, they lived on different planets, separate planes of existence, right? The Satya Yuga, divine was Varahadev and Hiranyaksha and different planets. Treta Yuga, what happened? They resided on the same planet but different countries. Ravana and different country means in India and Sri Lanka. Then Dwapar Yuga, they lived in the same family. Pandavas and Kauravas, they were having same family. In Kali Yuga, what is happening is the godly and the demoniac nature coexists actually in the same person only, right? We are having, sometimes we are having the tolerance, sometimes we are compassionate, we want to help others, and sometimes we get so angry and we have a lot of greed and jealousy and all. So everything is in us. So after telling all this, now Lord Krishna will describe the demoniac nature so that we recognize and stay away from it and we can avoid having it, right? Let's see that. So Naina Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Those who are demonic do not know what is to be done and what is not to be done. Neither cleanliness nor proper behavior nor truth is found in them. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So you know the demoniac nature, right? They don't want to follow any scriptural rules. Ye kya hai, to aise hi hai, kuch nahi, no need to follow anything. They don't want to follow any rules also. External rules, internal rules. There is the external cleanliness, internal cleanliness. There is no rule. At home, outside, they behave in that demoniac manner only. This is how the modern generation, their view is like, there is no absolute truth. All is relative. If you talk to any new generation, they'll say, it may be true to you. You may think it is right. For me, it is not right. As if, the truth is some kind of personal preference. The truth is truth, right? Sun rises in the east, sun rises in the east, sun sets in the west, it sets in the west. Like that, whatever scripture is saying is the truth, but they will not want to believe it. Some may like the approach of thinking, but it's not right according to Lord Krishna. Because Lord Krishna says that is absurd because Shastras are true, he says. Like, for example, if somebody says that it is okay to ignore the traffic lights even when it is red, it's okay, it's red, nobody is there, no car is passing by, I can go. They may say it is all right. What will happen? That person is not only putting the life of his own self at risk, but he's putting others also at risk, right? Others' life at risk. Why? Because he says it's okay to cross the red light. That's not right. Lord Krishna is stating the demonic nature is confused. They do not know what is right, what is wrong. So they don't have purity. They don't know anything about what is truth. They do not follow the right conduct. They don't have that. It's not found in them. So now Lord Krishna is making this very clear about the demoniac nature. So let's see how these people think. Now the nature has been discussed, right? They don't know what is to be done, what is not to be done. So how do they think these demoniac nature people? Let's see that. Yes, Manohar Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. How demonic people think. They say that this world is unreal, that there is no foundation, and that there is no God in control. It is produced of sex desire and has no cause other than that. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So what do demonic people think? They say that world is unreal. Now there is no cause, no effect, no controller, no proprietor. Everything is unreal. They say this universal manifestation, everything happened because of all these material actions and reactions and all that, whatever happened. They are not thinking. They are not saying that the world was created by God for a certain purpose. There is a certain aim. They have their own, whatever, according to whimsical theories that they are having. World came out on its own. There is no reason to believe that there is some God behind it. There is no difference. They say body, matter, soul. What is this? This is all nothing. We do not accept that there is a supreme spirit inside us. Nothing like that. We don't accept these theories. That is how they think. So we are understanding how they think. They will say that there are no, there are two ways of following the immoral behavior. First one is what? To say that stay away from unrighteousness. If we don't want to be like demoniac people's, we don't want to follow their behavior, suppose. First is stay away from it. We can have it, do it through our own willpower. Ki nahi, mujhe galat kaam nahi karna hai. We do not want to do the wrong thing. Second way is not to commit any sin because of fear of God. Ek to hai, according to our willpower, I don't want to do anything wrong. This is my willpower. Another is, oh my God, if I do this path, maybe, God will punish me. That fear is there, right? They are the two ways of not doing anything wrong. But there are only very few who want to walk the right path because of their willpower. Okay, I am not doing, come what may. Very few people you will see. Most of us follow the right path because of the fear of punishment, right? You must have experienced that. Even when we are driving also, there is a speed limit when we go on the highway. There is a certain speed limit we have to follow. And the moment we are crossing the speed limit, we want to go fast. The moment we see a police car at the side, we immediately slow down. Why do we do that? It is because of the fear of paying the fine. We don't want to pay the fine, or we don't want any black spot on our license. So, if we believe in God, out of fear also, at least we'll stay away from this immoral behavior, demoniac behavior. If we do not believe in God, like how these demoniac people think, then what will happen? These same laws will still be applicable, but we'll be suffering also the consequences of wrong behavior. What's the point? Why not just stay away from how they think? We should not be behaving like them. So Srila Prabhupada says these demoniac people, they do not believe in the words of Krishna. What did Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita? Maya dhakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. Means under my direction, the whole material world is moving. Lord Krishna has told very clearly, but they do not want to believe that, says Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada says that among these demons, there is no perfect knowledge because they do not know how this world was created. Every one of them is coming up with their own theory according to their own whims and fancies, right? That's what Srila Prabhupada says in his purport. Yes, men with demoniac nature say that world is unreal, no foundation, no God. They say that it is produce of sex desire, no cause other than less. True or false?
True.
Yes. So let's move on. Gauri Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Following such conclusions, the demonic, who are lost to themselves and who have no intelligence, engage in unbeneficial, horrible works meant to destroy the world. Hare Krishna.
So how, Hare Krishna Mataji, how are their activities? You can see they are engaged. They just want destruction and nothing else. Lord says such people are less intelligent, he says. So they have no concept of God. And they think they are very advanced and very modern and all. But according to Bhagavad Gita, they are unintelligent. They don't have any sense. The nuclear inventions, they're considered to be advancement. But what happened? It is making people insensitive, violent. We are becoming more cruel. War happening, people killing each other, lot of kidnapping happening. So much of violence is happening nowadays. We can see everywhere. Why? Huge destruction. We are becoming very cruel to animals. We are cruel to other. We are insensitive towards other human beings. We don't know how to behave with others. Hitler, as you can see in the picture, he had this demoniac kind of sensibility. He sends thousands and thousands and thousands of people to gallows. And he created so much of suffering in this world, so much of devastation in this world, because he had this demoniac sensibility, thought, action, and his activities were also demoniac. So let's see demoniac mentality. Anupriya Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Demoniac mentality. The demoniac, taking shelter of insatiable lust, pride and false prestige, and being thus illusioned, are always sown to unclean work, attracted by the impermanent. Hare Krishna
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna. So mentality, they have no satiation, means there's lust is never satisfied. It goes on increase, the greed increases, the desires increases, or chahiye, kitna chahiye, how much material enjoyment do you want? So they are full of anxiety. They can't sleep at night, whole night, because their want is so much so, they are having a lot of anxiety. I have put so much money into Bitcoin. I have so much money put into stocks. Oh, the stock will fall down. It crashed and they can't sleep. They get cardiac arrest, heart attack, anxiety, full of anxiety. Now, younger people are dying because of that, because they're accepting non-permanent things. They want to continue to engage in such activities out of illusion. They know it is all non-permanent because they have no knowledge. They do not know what is right, what is wrong, what is they are heading the wrong way. That is not the way to live the life. That is impermanent thing that is going to be there. They are actually causing their own health to suffer because they are attracted by two things. What are those two things? Sex enjoyment, accumulation of material. I will invest in this, I will double my money, triple my money. Nothing will happen. The moment they lose it, they are gone. And the word, what is written over here? Mohat grihitva sadgrahan pravartante ashuchi vrata. Now Lord Krishna says they are always sworn to unclean work, ashuchi. Unclean vows means what? In this connection, demoniac people, they're attracted by all unclean things. What are those? Intoxication, gambling, meat eating, illicit relationship, all these which are not allowed, unclean habits, they are gliding into that towards hell, lower regions. But accordingly to the modern society, it is considered great. It is considered modern. They consider themselves very advanced. They go to parties and that is what they are doing and they think they are advanced. But that's according to Bhagavad Gita, according to Krishna, it is demoniac mentality. Let's move on to the next one. Yes, Snigdha Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. They believe that to gratify the senses unto the end of life is the prime necessity of human civilization. Thus, there is no end to their anxiety. Being bound by hundred and thousand of desires, by lust and anger, they secure money by illegal means for sense gratification. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So see what happens. These demoniac people, the way they think, the way they act, the way their mentality is, they do not want to approach any kind of spiritual path or sadhana, or they don't want to touch that path only. What happens is, they think that going to temple, doing all this chanting, reading Bhagavad Gita, it is too burdensome, it is too laborious. Oh, I can't do it, and we don't even know after doing all this, am I going to the spiritual world? Am I going to be with the God? Who has seen it? Who knows? Have you been there? Have you seen it? These are the questions they ask, for which we can't answer because we can experience it. We can't practically show them, yes, I have seen it, because being in the material world, we can't do. Only the gurus can show them. Gurus can tell them that according to the experience, yes, it is there. But according to demonic people, it is final goal is too far. We haven't seen. So let us run after all the sense gratification. We have this one life. Let us live this life to do all the intoxication, illicit relationship, gambling, meat eating, run after material things. And they are so much into it. They're always worried, always in anxious mode. The temperament is always having this kama, krodha, moha, lobh, mad, matsarya, always greedy, lust. All this is going on. Desires have no end. And when they get something, they are very, very happy. Oh, wow, I have won a lottery. That is momentary. Then the stock falls down. Then again, they are very, very sad. They become very frustrated. They can't sleep at night. They go and drink alcohol. So see, only if they can have some kind of concern, some kind of attachment towards Krishna, which comes with only by his grace, like you all have got right now, they will never ever have to have that worry or anxiousness or think about even how they will end their life. I say money is important in this world. There is no doubt about it. Money is important because we have to live. If we have some health issues, we may have to go to the hospital also. But those who are completely into this materialistic thing, their wants and desires are so much. It's like limitless, right? So how much can you accumulate money? There is a limit. They are accumulating their whole life, right? And to accumulate that money, what are the stuff they are doing? They are using unlawful means to accumulate money, illegal means to accumulate. That is completely wrong. We must earn our money the right way. And we should keep it as much as is necessary for our survival, maintenance, health, education. Keep it. Nobody is saying no. We are living in this material world. So they do not want to do that. They want to accumulate so much so that I can have a palatial house better than my neighbor. So naturally, if you don't do that, what will happen? At the time of death, what is going to happen? Are you going to take all the money that you have accumulated in this life? No. The wealth is not going to go with you. It will be taken away by someone. If you don't have your children, somebody else, the government will take away, or somebody else will take away. Anyway, it's gone. Secondly, according to the law of karma, because you have earned it through illegal means or unlawful means, you will be punished. You are punished for the sins committed for earning the wealth in that way. Somebody else is enjoying the wealth that you have committed the illegal way, right? But you will be punished because you earned it. So the example can be given of a drug peddler. The drug peddler, if someone catches him, the customs, they catch him, the drug peddler, what will happen? Not only the drugs are confiscated, he is also sent to jail. He is punished for breaking the law. Similar thing happens, right? We also have to face the same thing. So better not have that to gratify the senses, run after money and accumulate through illegal means. That is what Lord Krishna is trying to explain to us. Manohar Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, please.
The demonic person thinks, so much wealth do I have today, and I will gain more according to my schemes. So much is mine now, and it will increase in the future, more and more. He is my enemy, and I have killed him, and my other enemy will also be killed. I am the Lord of everything. I am the enjoyer. I am perfect, powerful, and happy. I am the richest man surrounded by aristocratic relatives. There is none so powerful and happy as I am. I shall perform sacrifices. I shall give some charity, and thus I shall
Rejoice.
Rejoice. In this way, such persons are deluded by ignorance. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. So the demonic people, what according to this shloka, demonic people, they think, how do they think? They take it for granted, that they have this world is for them to enjoy, this world is for them to have lot of pleasures. No need to follow any ethics, no need to follow any moral conduct to fulfill their ambitions, fulfill their wishes. They can do anything. They can go to any extent, illegal means, they can try. They will always remember. We remember, right? That we have some freedom. Lord Krishna has given us some freedom to perform our karmas by our choice, right? So we know that we can do something, but if we use that freedom to do all illegal things, we must also remember that we are not free to determine the results of that action. We are free to do that action, not free for the results of the action. So if we do anything wrong, we know the action can be wrong, right? The results will be bestowed by God according to the law of karma. So some people, what they do, they will do a lot of yajna, a lot of ceremonies they will do to please the devatas, to amass lot of wealth, right? So like in the picture you can see Hiranyakashyap, he did lot of tapasya and he amassed lot of wealth. He became so proud of himself. He became so proud, he asked everybody to worship him instead of Lord Vishnu. And his own son worshipped Lord Vishnu, and he didn't like it at all. He was so frustrated, so angry with him. Said, show me where your Lord Vishnu. How will he help you? He tried to kill his own son. And in the end, Lord Vishnu came as Lord Narsimha and he killed him. Then you can see Kamsa in the second picture. How when Akashvani came, when he was very nicely taking Devaki and Vasudeva in the chariot after their wedding, he was taking them. And when he heard the Akashvani, that 8th child of Devaki will kill him, he didn't like it. He immediately wanted to kill her. Just imagine what kind of demoniac quality he had, that he wanted to kill his own sister. Then you can see the Ravan's demoniac mentality, right? He was also so proud of himself. He thought he had got everything. So he needs Sita also in his palace. And he kidnapped her and he took her away. So these are some of the demoniac qualities we can see in great demons also. Hiranyakashyap, Kamsa and Ravana. To save themselves from sinful reactions, demoniac person thinks, I shall perform sacrifices, I shall give some charity, thus I shall rejoice. True or false?
True.
Correct. Yes. Let's move on. Gauri Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thus, perplexed by various anxieties and bound by a network of illusions, one becomes too strongly attached to sense enjoyment and falls down into hell. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. From this shloka, we understand actions very important in this world. Whatever kind of action we do, we will get the corresponding result, right? That's what we have understood so far. So whatever we do, we have to face that karmic consequences for our actions. Principle is very clear, very clear. We learned also, urdhvam gacchanti sattvastaha madhye tishtanti rajasa jaganya guna vrittisthaha adho tishtanti tamasaha. Means what? Those who are situated in the mode of goodness, what will happen? They will move to heavenly planets. Those who are in the mode of passion, they remain on the earthly planets. And those who are in the mode of ignorance, they move down to lower hellish regions. We have understood that very clearly. So with that, we understand that our karmic reaction will be whatever we do, whatever karma we do, we'll get the corresponding result. So, aneka chitta vibhrantaha moha jala samavritaha prasaktah kama bhogeshu patanti narakeshu cha. So this is a complete mohjal. Mohjal means what? Like how when the fisherman puts the net into the river, or how the fish are caught into the net. Similarly, we are also caught up. Why? Because of our false ego. We are identifying with our mind. We are becoming confined to our that repetitive thought processes that we have, this pattern that we have, right? We are completely, it's like, how they say spirits possess our body, like that. We are possessed by our mind. Sometimes somebody says something, it goes on in our mind for so long. And then we start complaining, whining over it. Every complaint, we go on complaining to everyone. We tell so-and-so did so-and-so thing. And that is becoming a story now. The more we talk about it, the more bigger story it will become. And we start believing it to be the true. then the voice will tell in our head, see, that person did so much to you. You did so much nice things to that person, but that person didn't even behave well. And the mind will tell you to become very sad, very anxious, depressed, negative, and that, completely these stories will become my life only. Completely, it becomes my life. And what happens? Because of this false ego, we start accepting whatever the voice is telling. And that this complaint worsens day by day. And then we start hating that person. I don't want to see the face of that person anymore, anytime in my life. That's how we start saying, and becomes long lasting. It turns into grievance and we stop talking forever. So where will the karma go? The karma will remain. You have to come back and again face the same thing. So better, not have that thing going on in your mind. Let's move on to the next one. Yes, who will read? Darshana Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Those who are envious, who are the lowest among men, are cast by me into the ocean of material existence, into various demoniac species of life. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So what are the consequences of demonic mentality? So Lord Krishna, once again, he is describing this, right? So he says in the next life, what will happen to them? They will be taking birth in the families with similar mentalities. So according to that, whatever which will be suitable demoniac environment in their home. That's why many a times people think, why was I born in a family where father is fighting, mother is quarreling, father is, very demoniac in nature, drinking alcohol 24/7, mother is going out to parties, nobody cares about the kids, kid is doing drugs, everything is completely demoniac. The environment is demoniac. It's very poisonous environment, very negative environments. Now we understand from Bhagavad Gita Shloka 19 that those consequence of demonic mentality will be, they will be born in that kind of atmosphere. So Lord Krishna says that he will give life in such families. It is not in the soul's hand to choose the species, place for the next birth. We don't have that choice. We can't choose our species. We can't say, okay, I want to go in so-and-so species, so-and-so place. No, only God makes the decision according to the nature and the karma of the individual. That is why we will find so many species of life, animal, insects, men, and so on, right? All this have been arranged by the Lord. They are not that, oh, accidentally, okay, isko ye insect mein accidentally chala gaya. Nothing like that. There is nothing called accidental. Everything goes according to disciplined way, how this whole nature is running. God is the most disciplined person in the whole world. He knows what he is doing. And as far as demoniac people are concerned, it is very clear it is stated in this verse that they are put into the wombs of mothers or demons, and they continue to remain envious, says Lord Krishna. So if they are put into those families, those mothers' womb, who are like having demonic mentality, they are born in demonic environment, and they are put into such wombs, and they will always remain envious and mischievous. They are cast into the ocean of material existence, into various demonic species of life. What happens to those who are envious, mischievous, and are lowest among men?
D.
Yes, correct, Charu Mataji. They are perpetually cast into various demoniac species of life. Correct. Yes, this one, Snigdha Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. There are 3 gates leading to this: hell, lust, anger, and greed. Even sane man should give these up, for they lead to the degradation of the soul. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Trividham narakasyedam dwaram nachanamatmanah kama krodhastatha lobha tasmadetatrayam tyajet. Very nice one, this one. Lord, the beginning of demoniac life, how it has been described over here. If we are trying to satisfy our lust, and the lust is not satisfied, what happens? Anger and greed comes. So a well-balanced life, Lord Krishna says, these are the 3 gates to hell. if somebody does not want to go towards demoniac life, we have to remain away from these three gates to hell. Lord Krishna tells these are the three gates to hell: lust, greed, and anger. Just in order to remember, you can remember it as LAG, L-A-G, lust, anger, and greed, just for to remember it. So a well-balanced man who does not want to should stay away from all these three enemies. Otherwise, there is no possibility to go to Golokadham. So Lord Krishna says, together, Kam, Krodha, lust, anger, and greed, they are the foundations from which all other demoniac vices develop. These are the bases. So what will they do? These three, they irritate the mind. And then what happens? Other vices come out of this consequently. So Lord Krishna, that is why labeled it that these are the three gates to hell. And he's advising us to stay away from self-destruction. So we can see that what happened because of the lust. What had happened? Who had this lust towards? Can you see the picture and tell me what was it all about?
Draupadi's Chirharan.
Yeah, correct. Lust towards Draupadi. And greed for?
Capturing.
What Kauravas had greed for?
Capturing the whole kingdom.
Yeah, correct. Greed for Hastinapur. And they had anger towards? Kauravas had anger towards?
Pandavas.
Pandavas. Very nice. So these demoniac people, they don't know what is right, what is to be done, what is not to be done. They do not want to follow any shastras, no principles. That's what Kauravas did. They were self-centered. Kauravas did not behave well, not even with Krishna. They were untruthful. They were unclean. They did not want to, follow any rules and regulations. They tried to kill Pandavas every time, every moment from the very beginning, by starting with giving poison to Bhim, right? So they were never, always having these demoniac qualities. What are the three gates leading to this hell?
Lust, anger.
Correct. Very good. Very nice. Yes. Okay. So let's move on. Gauri Mataji, Hare Krishna. Manohar Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, yes.
Mataji, the man who has escaped these three gates of hell, O son of Kunti, performs acts conducive to self-realization and thus gradually attains the supreme destination. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So what in this shloka, what is Lord Krishna trying to tell us is the result. If you renounce lust, if you renounce anger, if you renounce greed, what will happen? So Lord Krishna is saying we have to be very careful about these three enemies, because it leads to three gates to hell. So he says lust, anger, greed, you should try to stay away from this. The more we are away from it, the more our life becomes pure. We become pure. Our thoughts become pure. Our actions become pure. All this, because of lust only, we get all this. As cause of anxiety also is lust. Cause of anxiety is greed. Cause of anxiety is anger, right? So Lord Krishna is saying, stay away. And whenever, for example, if we are going to a doctor, okay, let's say we go to a doctor. What does doctor do first? Does he write the medicine and give it to us straight away without even looking at us? No. Yes, he will examine. He will diagnose what our problem is. And according to the problem, he will prescribe that kind of medication. Similarly, what is the first step? First step towards this material cure, to stay away from this, is what? Diagnosis. Check what all aspects do I have? What kind of tendencies do I have? And then with the help of Krishna, with chanting, reading scriptures, with the surrendering to Krishna, we can uproot these vices in us and just remove it, right? That is what we can do. Because see, there are different prescriptions for different diseases. Doctor cannot give the same medicine. Okay, I'm writing paracetamol, even if I have kidney disease, liver disease, whatever disease, paracetamol, okay, go. No. So there are different prescriptions for different disease. That's why we need spiritual master in our life. Why? The teachers are needed so that they can guide us. as per our symptoms. Everybody has a different problem. Everybody has got different, they have to be diagnosed differently. So spiritual master does that accurately. And we can slowly attain the supreme destination. What happens to the man who has escaped the 3 gates of hell?
He gradually attains the
Correct. Very nice. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Shashtastakam, what did he say? Trinadapi sunichena karorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadaharihi. He says, let somebody read that. Sunaina Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the strong in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one cannot chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So what is the analogy Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving? He says like grass blade. How when we put our feet on the grass blade, it bends. That much humility we are supposed to have. Just imagine. Such nice analogy, right? And then he says, Tarorapi Sahishnuna. The tree is standing, it is bearing, tolerating, whether it is windy weather, whether it is snow, it is rain, it is heat, any weather, it is just standing there, tolerating everything. That kind of tolerance we need to imbibe. And then amanina manadena, whether somebody gives us respect, they don't give us respect, our basic quality should be, I am going to give respect to others. Whether they give me or not, doesn't matter to me. I should mind my own business. I should peep inside my mind and check, am I right? Am I doing the right thing or not? And then kirtaniya sada hari. Always do Hari Kirtan. That's it. Then we will need to have that divine qualities so that we become humble, act in the mode of goodness and take the holy name of Lord constantly. So let's move on to the next shloka now. Who will read? Anupriya Mataji, would you like to read?
Hare Krishna Mataji. He who discards scriptural injunctions and acts according to his own whims attains neither perfection nor happiness nor the supreme destination. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So if we discard the scriptural injunctions, means what? We do not follow the Shastras. Suppose we do not follow Shastras and we are doing according, okay, this is what mantra I want to read. This is what the way I want to pray. This is what I want to do. Okay, I want to eat meat. I want to eat meat. I want to go into illicit sex, gambling and intoxication. It's okay. Means you're not following Shastras. Then you will not get perfection. For example, if I'm traveling to any country, to a new country, abroad, you're going abroad and it's very difficult to, you are just landed over there, you don't know where to go. So you take a car, rent a car at the airport, and then you're going where to go. You need a GPS. You need a guide map at least. So it will guide us towards our destination. Okay, I have to go to so-and-so resort or so-and-so hotel or wherever we want to go. We need that GPS. We need that guide map, right? So that we can check what to do, where to go, where to eat, what are the places to visit, etc. Similarly, these scriptures, they are also our guide maps. They are also like our GPS. It has been given to us as human beings, as living entities on this journey towards spiritual path, towards enlightenment. Why? Because these scriptures are there to provide us with knowledge, with understanding, so that, we get those instructions from it as to what to do and what not to do. Shastra Vidhi and Shastra Nishedh. This is Nishedh, means you should not be doing it. All these 4, illicit sex, gambling, meat eating, intoxication, are not to be done. It is given in the Shastras. Shastra Vidhi means you can, in Kali Yuga it has been stated you need to do Namasmaranam. So by the ways of these demoniac people, they are completely opposite of what the Shastras tell us. They don't want to follow anything that Shastras say, right? They do not want to, they refrain from the recommended, the scriptures, teachings. So referring to such people, what Lord Krishna is declaring is, Those who renounce the scriptures or authorized path, and they are acting according to their own whims and fancies, they will not achieve true knowledge, perfect happiness, or perfection. They will not be able to even liberate themselves from this cycle of birth and death. What happens to those who discard scriptural injunctions and act according to their own whims?
They attain
Correct,
another
correct. Very nice. Yes, please. Snigdha Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. One should therefore understand what is duty and what is not duty by the regulations of the scriptures. Knowing such rules and regulations, one should act so that he may gradually be elevated. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Tasmat Shastram Pramanam Te Karya Vyavasthitau Jnatva Shastra Vidhanoktam Karma Kartumiharhasi. Like we should understand what is duty. So what Lord Krishna is not telling us is the final conclusion. Whatever he has told so far, whatever teaching he has given us so far, he is comparing. He has differentiated the divine and the demoniac nature. He has highlighted how demoniac nature, if we imbibe demoniac nature, we will straight away go to hellish abodes. He has made it very clear. And what is now he is now doing is he's driving home the point that Vedic scriptures, the Shastras, they are like GPS, guide maps. They are absolute authority in order to understand the Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna, see, you have to understand the teachings of the scriptures and you have to act according to the Shastras, Shastra Vidhi. Whatever the way Shastras are telling us, we have to understand what is duty and what is not duty by following the regulations of the scriptures. Even Lord Krishna and Balram, you can see as in the picture, they were also with their guru in the ashram, right? And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says, what does he say? He says, Jivera Swarupa Haya, Krishnera Nityadas. So what is the Jiva's natural, actual position? Krishnera Nityadas. We are the eternal servants of the Lord. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also said. So the results are based on what we are, how we are going to behave. It's based on the process. If we want to go to permanent abode, Goloka Dham, then we should not settle for anything less than the devotional service. We should follow all the 9 processes of devotional service and move towards our, in the process of spiritual sadhana and ultimate attain the permanent abode. See, if we perform acts for self-realization, if we follow the scriptures, we will be able to escape the gates and attain the supreme destination, right? That's the rekha we have to draw. If we reject the scriptures, we act whimsically the way we want to do, we will remain miserable and we will have the degraded form of life. So that's such a practical message Lord Krishna has given in this chapter. Very simple formula, which will give us a lot of peace while we are sleeping, happiness, no anxiety, no worry, right? And fast track, like we have in airport, fast track for freedom towards permanent abode. What do we have to do? Lord Krishna very practically told, avoid what? 3 gates to hell: lag, lust, anger, and greed. Stay away from do that. How to do that? He says, follow the Shastras, make it your GPS so that you will stay away from all this. So the takeaway from this chapter is that we need to use divine qualities that we have inside us, make it more prominent in us to fight the war inside our mind, what against the demoniac qualities that are there inside our mind, and defeat it by increasing our divine qualities. If the divine qualities increase in us, the demoniac qualities will be suppressed, right? It will win the war. Hare Krishna. So let's see the summary of chapter 16. We learned about the divine and demoniac qualities. There are 26 divine qualities, 6 demoniac qualities, right? Demoniac nature, we learned about their qualities: anger, arrogance, conceit, harshness, ignorance, and pride. Their mentality, they don't know what to be done, what not to be done. They don't want to follow Shastras. They don't behave well. They're untruthful, unclean. An activity, they are engaged in such activities which lead the world to destruction. The choice, 3 gates to hell. We know it's lust, anger, and greed. Everyone has a choice. So we need to use the divine qualities in order to fight the demoniac qualities in our mind. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Thank you everyone. Hare Krishna.